The coalition works on three-prong approach. We're a statewide organization, so we work from the Cape all the way up to Holyoke, from Lawrence all the way down. So we really represent all those that are either at risk of homelessness or living in poverty. And we work on a systemic change basis up at the State House, crafting legislation, making sure there's money within the budget to help people who are at risk, preventing themselves from becoming homeless and losing their housing. We also help people in a direct service way, and so we have a furniture bank that really works within the 495 belt, but we also have the Bed for Every Child that is statewide, helping children who are growing up in poverty to receive a bed of their own.
I was an unaccompanied homeless youth at the age of 13 when my father passed away and my mother went to prison for drug addiction. And so after going through the several years of a high schooler and into college, I realized that there weren't many services for young adults trying to remain successful or stay housed safely, or were there really services specifically for youth trying to, stay out of the system or stay as successful and above water as possible. So I reached out to a national organization described as the National Association for the Education of Homeless Children and Youth after receiving a scholarship for facing adversity and overcoming obstacles in my life. And after being in Capitol Hill working on a different campaign, the director at the national organization, told me that I needed to get in contact with Kelly Turley, the legislative director here at the coalition, and find out more about what they can do for a student like myself. And I found out that they had a bill that was being in the State House trying to be passed. So I started working with them kind of per diem and sharing my story as an unaccompanied youth and the struggles that I faced, and realized what services were out there or lack thereof. And from there I started interning. Working with the coalition now for over 2 years, I've had a great opportunity to really see how the different programs work and how meticulous they are really ran, and the powerful impact that they do have in our community, from our Bed for Every Child, just to give a brand new bed to a child that might not have their own. And it's amazing how many individuals or children in Massachusetts are in poverty, not to mention without a bed. I was one of those children that weren't given my own bed for many years of my life, so I know how important something like that would be to a child's success. And then we have a program that that provides furniture for families exiting homelessness and into a home. And providing furniture really makes a house a home. So having a dining room set or living room set, a TV, dressers for your family, it's important, and we do that well. And all our programs are small, but they're attainable and they make a big difference. And I'm empowered just being next to my colleagues in the building, because the work that they do, the phone calls that they receive, and we're always doing our best to go through every pocket of of resources that we may have and use them for them. It's interesting, it's amazing. I think the most important is that never to judge a book by its cover, and I think that goes in every aspect of life that we've been taught to do so anyways, but more importantly that we're described as the invisible population for a reason. We're resilient, we're resourceful, and young adults like myself, we're still able to have hope, and we still have some sort of hope. At least I hope at least that we do. But just to do so, never to immediately think that the circumstance that is at hand is directly of the fault of the person, because I know from personal experience that I would never want to have been an unaccompanied youth alone without parents growing up, and it wasn't a choice of my own to do so. So I would definitely personally want to thank the credit unions and all of our supporters that have contributed to our mission here at the Coalition for the Homeless. More specifically so because I know that as a child growing up, I would have benefited from programs that we have within our house here at the Coalition, from our Room to Breathe, our Bed for Every Child, our furniture bank when my family was experiencing homelessness constantly throughout my life. So it's incredible to see that as a community organizer today, I'm able to advocate for the support of and the expansion for the homeless preventative services in the Commonwealth, but also to know that our supporters like the credit union are able to support us in our mission as a whole, as all of our colleagues in-house are working our best to make sure that these pieces come together.